don't think because one person is doing it this way that you have to do it this way as well. You just have to go and, find your model.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
For sure.
Yeah. So then, Max, you didn't have any choice. So how you came up with this new idea?
Well, the new idea was, we started it was a landscape construction business, and we were doing mostly the regional, and we were doing mostly tract homes. When they were building, we were doing backyards and front yards, and then they just simply stopped building. So what brought us down, besides the fact that we didn't know the finances very well at the time, because if we did, we probably would not have a choice, but it would not be as painful as the bankruptcy was, because again, I said we lost pretty much everything. We started the landscape maintenance business, and this time we were paying attention, we were doing it, but again, the business started growing, and the spoiler alert, second time it was better, and we were able to sell the business because that was the plan. That was the plan originally. And then, when we had the business, we were thinking with my co-founder, who was my wife at the time. I mean, she's still a business partner. We are not married anymore, but we are. She's a huge part of the business. She's a chief people's officer for bookkeeping. So we were so busy, and then we're like, we need to find a bookkeeping company to do bookkeeping for us. And I went out and tried to get estimates. I talked to 20 bookkeepers, and the estimates I've got were from $200 to $2,000 for exactly the same scope of work, which I can tell you, and I knew that at the time from my finance background, it's not healthy. You can't have such a big fork, okay? I mean, 200 to 400, I get it. Everybody has different pricing, but same scope, 200 and 2,000, no way. So we're like, there is an opportunity to break into the market. And so that's how bookkeeping started. And it started in the garage, and I was getting the jobs, and Elena was doing it. And at the time, we were running the landscape maintenance business, so I was running two businesses at a time.
Wow.
And eventually, as I said, we sold it and just concentrated on bookkeeping and moved to the office, and so on and so forth. But definitely, in the beginning, it was like a part-time business. I'm like, well, it's still growing. You can do it. So there is definitely an opportunity. And then in a few years, we opened an office. By accident, we got into franchising. We started doing bookkeeping for one small franchise who started recommending us to their franchisees. And then before we knew, it's another one. So right now, bookkeeping is the preferred bookkeeping provider for over 100 franchise brands in the US, okay? In all 50 states. Fast Signs, Signorama, Sport Clips, a lot of big names, but also some smaller guys that are, just starting, but they grow really fast. And so we do bookkeeping for their franchisees, and that's pretty much bread and butter of our business. And again, that's what I was saying, the business plan changes because, all of that was not in the original plan. The word franchising wasn't even there. Nobody even thought about going this route. We got there by accident, and we just started, adapting and moving to different directions.
You have to be out there, Max. You have to be out there and listen to your client. Listen what they want. A lot of people get. Imagine that when this first client come, the franchisee, you say, "Oh, we don't do franchises." You see how much scope of business you will lose. So you listen.
For sure. I mean, if you would ask me what is the sixth rule, 6 steps, I would be adaptive. That would be another one. Just change 100%. Because you can't because look, sometimes things happen beyond our control. I mean, COVID changed a lot of businesses, the way people were doing. I can tell you in bookkeeping, before COVID, people were like, no, I want my bookkeeper to come and to work at the office. A lot of people were saying that. I want to have a one-on-one meeting. I want to see them live. After COVID, all of a sudden, it's totally cool to do it via Zoom. So everything changed. And who would have thought? Everybody was thinking that this is a really bad thing, which again, COVID was bad. I mean, we can go, and I don't want to spend any time on it. I'm glad it's more or less over as the pandemics. But I'm talking about change a lot of businesses, the way people doing businesses. So anyway,
But then you also, Max, you adapt as well. You said, okay, we will provide it in Zoom. You know what I mean? Because that's the other thing as well. A lot of bookkeeping friends, they say, oh, let's close the office. I'm going out of business because we cannot see the client face to face. On the other hand, you guys, they were open to say, okay, well, how about if we can do it online?
Funny enough, we always were doing business remotely online. So even when we had one office in San Diego and had, 12 or 13 employees in one office, even our clients in San Diego, we only talked to them on the phone. We didn't use Zoom. It did not exist at the time. It was mostly on the phone. I think we used Skype, if I'm not mistaken, but Zoom wasn't available. So we didn't even meet with clients. Everybody's saying, no, you're losing a lot of business because client wants this interaction. And we're like, nope, we're not going to do it. Not that I saw the future, of course not, but that was just our business model. And, it
yeah, same like I was, like my one, Max, by accident, yeah. My first property business, I was doing rent to rent here in London. We managed to sell over 5 million, yeah. The business was doing so well that my manager, when I arrived to the office, they told me, Harry, we don't need you, go home. Yeah, we can run this business without you. So the whole business was going in autopilot. And I remember I'm sitting in my home doing nothing because, the business was running by itself with my managers and everything. And then I'm thinking, I said, wow, but I don't like to go to the office. I never like to go to the office. And one day of this one, we're supposed to go there once a month, once every 2 months, just to say hello, because, and to see if they need paper in the photocopy, because apparently that's the only thing that can help them in the business. They know how to do everything else. Even their own paper in the photocopy, they were telling me that we can get our own paper, don't worry about it. But then I went one day to the office and said, guys, let me ask you a question. Do you like to come to the office? And everybody was telling me no. And I'm thinking, well, I don't like to come to the office. You guys don't like to come to the office either. Why we had the office in the first place? You work from home. I save the money for the office, and then we are all happy. How about that? And since then, I'm telling you, this was 15, 16 years ago. We took this decision, and we have been operating like real estate agent and everything all online from back of the day. So actually, when COVID came, in my office, in our team, everybody's looking itself like nothing happened, because we have been working in this way for a long time, because it was more flexible for the employees and more cost effective. So it makes sense, for us to operate this way. So sometimes, Mark, the nature of the business model, in order for you to keep your competitive advantage, because you have this type of flexibility, maybe you can afford more benefit for your clients, right?
Yes, for sure.
You can have more, correct? Because you were doing at the phone, you were not doing face to face. Now you can have more, right?
Well, look, I mean, you can argue either way. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that my model is the best and the other one is wrong, because some people do like it and there is a demand. If there is a demand, there is a supply. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. So there is a demand, there is a supply. So I know a lot of people who do it, in person, and they're very successful. And because they're doing it in person, they're able to charge higher rates, exactly, because they're like, and they charge for the travel and all the stuff. So
there is a space in the market for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. So don't think because one person is doing it this way that you have to do it this way as well. You just have to go and find your model. Some people have different models. So a very good example. Eventually, when we were working for franchises, we've decided to franchise our own concept, and now Bookkeeping is a franchise. So we're selling bookkeeping franchises in all over the United States, and also not just to the U.S. residents, because Bookkeeping qualifies people to get an E2 visa from UK, from Europe, from Asia, from about 81 countries. So we're working with somebody right now from Canada who is moving to the United States to open a Bookkeeping franchise and get the immigration visa for his entire family. So my point is, having said that, my franchisees that I have now, they're all different. Some like bigger clients, some like smaller, some like the mix, some only do restaurants. And who am I to tell them which way they should go? I mean, I'm a franchisor, so I'm there to support them and give them advice and make sure they follow the rules and train them. But if they only want to do restaurants, all power to them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, Max, so what is different? Tell us about your product. What is different?
Difference about what?
About your product, the bookkeeping. Yeah. What make you different for your competitors?
Well, I mean, look, bookkeeping by itself is the same no matter how you slice it and dice it. Debit is always on the left, credit is always on the right. So you cannot change it. This is, the general rules. However, you can change how you do that. And we use a lot of technology. We adapt this technology, which means that it takes us less time to do the work. And because of that, we are able to sometimes lower the prices, sometimes keep prices the same, and everybody's rising the prices. So we get a bigger market share. Because what took us 5 hours to do 5 years ago, right now takes us, 2.5 hours or 3 hours. And that's not because, and again, some clients are different. It's not like half all the time, but in some cases, it's actually such a huge difference because we mostly use QuickBooks Intuit product, which is huge in the United States. We are a national partner of Intuit. So last year, bookkeeping was, I want to say, number 8 in the country on the subscriptions managed, which is, that's pretty big if you ask me. But my point is that now QuickBooks is way faster than it was 5 years ago, and it's changing all the time. So all you have to do just accept it, embrace it, and how can you take advantage of it? Okay, let's get more, bigger market share so we can get double number of clients. We could, keep the same prices, so increase the prices because of inflation, blah, 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 and then do, same number of clients, just work less. That's a model. It's actually a pretty good model. Or we can get double the number of clients, and it's like a snowball. So it's getting more and more and more and more and more. And now we're getting these clients, and we're actually passing them on to our franchisees. So franchisees of bookkeeping become a franchisee, and then they get clients from corporate office, which is awesome. They're loving it.
Amazing. So, Max, so sometimes you can provide clients for your franchisees? That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. We provide clients. I mean, this 100 plus franchise brands that we do bookkeeping for, they're the source of clients for our franchisees. We also provide them employees to do the work. So really, it's a turnkey, ecosystem that provides everything. And of course, a full training. So we provide initial training, all done, by the way, remotely. Then we provide 3 months of accounting school. So you don't really have to be an accountant to be successful owner of bookkeeping business. Because look, I believe that you can own a painting franchise without knowing how to hold the brush. This 100%. Is not about painting. It's about knowing how to run the business and knowing that you don't know everything, so hire people who do. Obviously, if you don't understand and you don't know how to do it, don't be the quality control. Okay? But, when I ran the landscape business, I passed all the exams. I mean, I had all the licenses, but trust me, I had no idea how to do it with my hands. I knew the process, but I've never done it in my life. And, that's not the reason I lost the business, at a time. It's because, other things happen. But I knew that, hey, it's not going to be me. I can't check the quality looking at the pipes. So I had a team of people who are actually responsible for that.
Same for me. When I have my property business, I didn't know how to do any painting, or any carpeting, or any bathroom, or any floor. Yeah. I knew how much it's going to cost me, and I knew who I need to hire to do the job effectively and fast. But I didn't know how to actually do it. So at the end of the day, you have to get on what is your strength.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs, that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.